So tonight I'm with Nicole. Nicole, how old are you?
26.
Nicole, how long have you been lost out here in the streets of Phoenix?
If you count the entirety of my homelessness, I guess you could say on and off for about the past five and a half years. But most recently, I've been homeless in Arizona for the past year.
Where are you from originally?
Spokane, Washington.
And are you battling any addictions?
Yes, actually. I've been kind of struggling, not kind of, I've been struggling with the blues, fentanyl.
How long has that been going on?
Probably for about a year and a half.
So what did your life look like before 5 years ago when you weren't on the street?
Well, if anything, I think I was still living with my mom. Let me see, I'm 26 now, so. Nope, not true. I was still living elsewhere. I was kind of like, I wasn't what I consider to be dirt down homeless, which is where you're like living in camps or actually staying at like bus stops. There's like house hopping homeless where you're staying from this friend's house, that friend's house, and I was in a long-term relationship that lasted for like 3.5 years prior to that, actually. So yeah, I've been out here on and off for about the past 5.5 years, because I wasn't homeless by myself the entire time. I was homeless with my ex.
And what hopes and dreams do you have for your future?
I eventually would like to get a certificate in medical billing and coding so I could work from home or possibly travel, if not get my degree in it, because then you could practice in just about any state from the comfort of your computer. You just pretty much bill insurance companies for medical providers, vice versa.
And who introduced you to blues a year ago?
Man, that one's so very touch and go. I think I got into an argument with some guy I was dating, and I decided to go looking for one thing and found another. I was going to find some clear, and just get all up and on one, just have a good time that night. I was arguing with the dude, and I ran into this girl, and she's like, "I'll give you a ride," you know what I mean? I don't even remember. I didn't know it was a real sketchy area of town, some abandoned complex, and she was like, "You want to hit this?" And she's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna let you hit this because I don't want you to get addicted." And then she was like, "But it's up to you completely if you want to hit this." And then I was like, "Hell, I'll try anything once, And then I ended up hanging out with that girl kind of long term, on and off, and then it just kind of became a part of my schedule.
Are these counterfeit fentanyl pills or blues, are they in Washington?
Not that I know of. I haven't actually been back to my hometown since the peak of my addiction, or starting out with this battle with blues. I haven't actually been in a position to find out. I would assume they probably are somewhere. There's all kinds of sketchy areas out there.
Have you ever sought help for your addiction, like a treatment center?
I went to detox one time. I did something a little bit more ill-advised. I went with a trucker spontaneously out to Texas. Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, I have a great idea. Let's just go somewhere where I know I won't be able to find the blues." That was a bad idea, by the way.
Because why?
Well, because I was damn right. And then I changed my mind not long after setting out on this journey. I ended up stranded in Texas for at least a month, a month or two. Yeah, I was able to find just about everything else.
What about the truck driver? He was just a ride?
That guy was a total creep. But that's what initially led me to take off from him completely at the Love's truck stop. I think I was in San Antonio at the time.
It was being creepy to you?
Oh yeah.
Do you get that often, being a single female out here, young?
Being approached on that level, most definitely. Yeah.
Isn't that scary?
Most definitely, yeah. Being home, like, because this would be the first time for me that I've been homeless as a single woman, still being in my young age and whatnot, and also using and battling with addiction. It's definitely a night and day difference than if you were to be out here with your significant other.
It's more, it's a little safer when you're like with a partner, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely, because you guys have your routine, your schedule, what you guys are doing together. Like, you're kind of on this blind mission each day when you're out here by yourself. It's all up to you. It's just you and you only, you know? No one to battle things together with. It's just you.
What's your mission every day?
Well, I'm not proud to admit it, but I always try to make sure. The messed up thing about being addicted to pills is that you're essentially always trying to stay on track to where you're not getting sick, like, which is like every 6 to 12 hours, depending on what your metabolism is like, your intake, your tolerance level. You're trying to make sure that you always have enough with you, or that you smoke often enough, or however it is that you choose to use the blues. Some people take them by mouth. Some people snort them. I've heard of all kinds of shit. But the goal is to not get sick, while also trying to fulfill other little goals that I have on my to-do list. And sometimes, you know, some days being more challenging than others, those other goals fall last on the list or don't get handled at all because, like I said, some days are harder than others. Obtaining what it is that you need to stay well.
You mentioned that a woman approached you earlier in a romantic fashion.
Oh no, actually, I was having a conversation with a guy on a bike. We were just kind of conversating outside of the gas station, and he had asked me if I liked chicks, and I was like, I started looking at myself in the reflection of the storefront. I was like, wow, you ain't kidding. Look, now that I'm looking at what I'm wearing, I do kind of I look like that's what I go for, don't I? I was like, nah, dude, I'm just comfortable. I was like, see, I promise I clean up nice.
When's the last time you were dressed in a dress, looking nice with your hair done,
like
and
the
ready
last
to go
time that
somewhere?
I wore something that I chose to wear, like, I would say that was like a few months ago. I had a bunch of nice outfits, a little bit of makeup, hair product. People steal from each other out here quite a bit, like, so, and you'll be surprised, like, just the things that they'll steal for. Like, people will trade, like, people that don't have money sometimes to get what it is they need to stay well. Those fucking, excuse my profanity, they'll trade their belongings for someone else's belongings, you know, some days.
And how much money do you need per day to support your habit?
I've gotten myself down to about 6 to 10 of them a day. I still would like to be reducing that number quite a bit, but if I'm being realistic, that's about the amount that I can stretch out throughout the day and be comfortable, but also not be unfunctional, falling asleep places and whatnot. Because there's definitely a big difference between overdoing it and then just getting what you need.
That could be very dangerous for you, right? Falling asleep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's usually in these time frames. That's when my things get stolen, or when people are doing all kinds of stuff out here. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm in the middle of like a spiritual war. So it's actually not good for me to be asleep long periods of time and not know what's going on in my surroundings. Like I said before, being single out here on the streets, there's nobody to keep an eye out for me. I don't know. Like, I had an elderly man actually wake me up because he got a strange feeling about this group that was circling the entire bus stop one day. I was like, that's bizarre. Why do you think they were running these circles around me? And he's like, I don't know, but I got a bad feeling about it. So I decided to wake you up. They were kind of picking through things, and I couldn't tell whose stuff was what. And I just wanted to make sure that you didn't wake up and you were missing your belongings. I appreciated that. That was nice of him.
Yeah, a lot of. I've been told lots of stories out here, just crazy, right? Like women, just people take them and take their belongings, or guys wake up next to them, and it's just a bunch of craziness. So, isn't that like an incentive for you to just try to go get treatment and just get off the streets completely?
I definitely do have interest in getting off the streets, but I do feel like I would benefit best from something more outpatient, just because the kind of goals that I have and the resources that I would need to utilize in order to make these things happen, they would be too limited and restricted if I was like stuck within someone else's confines of a schedule that they created, you know? It would be better for me to be able to tackle things in a more efficient way that I feel is most comfortable for me. Because I feel like everybody essentially is unique in their own way, and some people, they do benefit from having someone else create that routine for them. But I know that if I just was able to get myself somewhere safe, but had like maybe like an outpatient like clinic I was going to or something, where I could wean myself off and still like work on, you know, replacing my ID, getting an actual mailing address for things to come to. I could get my 2 forms of identification, get back to work. Like, this is the longest I've been unemployed, actually.
How long has that been?
Like about a year. Yeah, about a little over a year now. I was working at Amazon prior, which I loved that job. I'm eligible for rehire. I'd like to go back. My biggest problem has been getting my ID. And obviously, the drugs.
I'm gonna say thank you very much for talking to me. I really appreciate your openness.
Yeah, no
and,
problem.
I mentioned that the purpose of this channel is prevention through awareness. By you having the courage to share your story, others out there can stay away from the dangers of blues or any other substance, right? So
yeah, for sure.
Your story is gonna help somebody to stay away from this, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my card with my number on it, so you can call me if you need to write a treatment or if you need somebody to talk to. I'm also gonna hand you a box of Narcan. You're familiar with Narcan, right?
Yeah. I actually overdosed myself at one period of time, and I was administered Narcan intramuscularly. My ex-fiance had actually saved my life. I was dead for like 7 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's it's an injection, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And that helped you
Although
come
some
back.
of them are nasal, I think. Yeah.
That's nasal, yeah. So so you're an example that Narcan works.
Yep.
You got a second chance at life, okay? So hopefully you make the most of it, okay? I'm also gonna give you a donated blessing bag from one of my subscribers, a friend of mine. Her name is Shorty, okay?
Okay.
Can you look to see if those are items that you could use?
We got all kinds of amazing, yummy snacks here. Awesome. We got what looks like some clothing, some apparel, a clean,
Brand new shirt.
couple of clean shirts, a wash rag, wet wipes, water. And it looks like we got some socks, some clean socks in here. And I think this is like we got a card. Let me put the other stuff back in here.
And those are all items that you could use, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Who out here does not need a clean pair of socks? Oh my god, having to smell people's feet. No offense. Like, I can't talk. I've definitely been there myself. But I actually gave someone a clean pair of socks earlier, because I know what it's like. I'm gonna go ahead and put these away. Okay. And then we have a card that says, "You are in my thoughts and prayers." This is cool. Dallas Cowboys. Oh, And it looks like we got a gift card to QT in here, and a promotional card from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Little voucher for a
For a large
Thirstbuster.
Polar Pop
Yep,
at
yep.
Circle K. That's
Yep.
cool. And then the card itself says, "First, I want to say thank you for accepting this blessing bag my family and friend Casper helped me make for you. I only ask that you do me a favor and say a prayer for me as I battle my struggles with depression, anxiety, and awful thoughts as well. When you can, please pay it forward and bless someone by simply being a friend and helping someone in need. I hope these items help out a little. Be safe and please call Art to go to treatment. We really do care and are praying for you. Love, Shorty." Blessings from Shorty Girl. Wow, that's awesome.
That's nice of her, right?
That is super nice. I could definitely use all of these things. I go to all these places on a regular basis.
So
That's awesome.
please stay safe, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you.